Well, hello there, Meow Mentors. It's Cat Lady Justin, and this is the Kitty Boss, where we pick, pamper, and protect your practically perfect pussycat for a lifetime of unconditional love. Now it's time for our Halloween special show. So if you're listening to this and it's October, listen up. And if it's not October, that's okay too, because we'll have a lot of cool things to share with you, not the least of which is our special surprise guest, which doesn't require Halloween in order to be really excited about what we have. But I don't want to say too much. I want to first bring on my special co-host, Dr. Rachel Geller. Not only is she a cat behaviorist, but she's also a cat chaplain, as well as the president of all cats all the time. So on a mission to save 1,000 cats, meaning keep them in their home. So Dr. Rachel, how are you? Happy Halloween.
Thank you, and happy Halloween to you too. I hope you have a beautiful holiday.
And is it too early to wish you a happy birthday, even though it's at the end of the month?
I will take well wishes whenever I can get.
All right, there you go.
Thank you very much.
Awesome. So, shall we bring on our special guest?
I think we're ready.
Yeah. So, I would like to introduce everybody on this show to Brian and Kristina. Brian and Kristina have founded a company called Frame Your Feline. If you're wondering, well, wait, what's that all about? Check out what's behind Brian and Kristina. You see a beautiful frame, which, could be a piece of artwork anywhere. And there's a cat in there. So I don't want to do injustice to the product, but Brian and Kristina, welcome to the show.
Thank you. We are happy to be here.
We're very happy to have you.
There's Winnie, and then Holly is on the shelf.
There we go. That's amazing. It is adorable and amazing. Now, what Frame Your Feline is, doesn't look like it needs a lot of description. However, most people will be listening to this show on Apple or Spotify podcasts, and so they can't see what we're seeing right now. If you happen to be on YouTube or Facebook, then of course you're seeing what I'm seeing. So for the benefit of our listeners, could you please tell us what is Frame Your Feline?
Frame Your Feline is the ultimate vertical space for your cat. All cats need vertical space. And we were tired of cat shelves that just stick out on the wall and do nothing. They look boring. We want to deforest the world of cat trees because those things are hideous, disgusting monstrosities that just collect dust in the corner, and you never want to have that scene when you have guests come over, right? So what we did is we've created a way to make art come alive. And the way we did this now, Justin, and for all of you who are just listening and you're not seeing, I want you in your mind's eye to picture this. What we have done is we've taken two sleek modern shelves. They're floating shelves. And one is the floor, think of it that way, and directly above it, about 1.5 feet above that, is another shelf. Think of that as the ceiling. And then attached to those two shelves that are mounted to the wall is an actual art frame that real professional art framers use when framing actual real art. And that is now a frame that attaches to those shelves. And then the cat jumps into the frame and they become a living work of art. Now, we didn't just stop there. What we also did is we went a step further. We said, why not beautify that space for your cat by having artwork panels that slide in and out and act as a backdrop for your cat? So you can celebrate holidays with your cat.
Like
you can
Halloween.
Beautiful artwork that's behind your cat. So this is just a way of, the frames are also interchangeable too. So it can change with you, your vibe and your cat's vibe and your decor in your home. And so finally, an actual, I guess you would call it cat furniture that is designed to work with the human in mind. There you go.
That sounds amazing. And for those of you who are listening and not watching, that looks amazing. So you're going to really want to check it out. So I'm going to do this immediately, and I'm going to share the website. It's frameyourfeline.com. For the benefit of the listeners, I know it sounds obvious. I will still spell it. It is FrameYourFeline. FrameYourFeline.com. And I spelled it because I know a lot of people are not going to know the difference between your, and your. So it's frameyourfeline.com, just as I spelled it. However, don't worry if you can't find it, if you forget, if you misspell it. Just ask me. I'm connected to them on social media. They also have social media, and you can follow them and see all kinds of adorable stuff and pictures if you're not ready for a actual Frame Your Feline. For example, if you're like me in the UK and you're waiting for, some extra money to pay for the customs fees and charges for shipping from the United States. But if you're in the United States, you can just go and buy one now. Lucky you. So that's Frame Your Feline, and the founders are Kristina and Brian. Dr. Rachel, do you have anything? What do you think of this? It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, so I love this idea. So first of all, as Brian said, vertical space is incredibly important to a cat. So we as human beings, we tend to navigate our world horizontally. And we think about how much room we have horizontally, like how much floor space we have, how much room do things take up on the floor. But cats look at their world vertically. And especially for people who have indoor cats, as I know I do, and I know you do as well, Justin, and many people do, we still want to give our cats that feeling of being able to navigate great distances and go on fantastic journeys, all while, not having to leave the safety of their own home. And vertical space accomplishes that. And that's why so many people do have, use the shelving and use the cat trees and use the perches, because it allows your cat to have that need for vertical space. They like elevation. It provides safety. It provides fun. It provides climbing exercise. And cats love to lord over their environment from above. So yay, yay, yay to more options for vertical space. I'm all about it. And then you have the people, and I come across this as a cat behaviorist. Well, I don't want a bulky cat tree in my house, or I live in a teeny tiny studio apartment in New York City. I don't have space for a cat tree in my house. So now we have to get creative. And this fits the creativity bill to a T. I love it. So not only are you providing something that's good and healthy and meets a cat's natural instincts, but it's fun and it's playful and it helps the humans have fun too. And I always have that client who says, I don't want cat trees all over the house, or I don't have room for cat trees all over the house. So because I do so much of my work virtually, I work with people who live in Hong Kong, who live in these teeny tiny apartments, but they want a cat. So here we go. Now you have wall space room for your cat and your artwork. So I think it's a terrific idea. It meets the cat's needs. So many times we try to meet the human needs, we disrespect the cat needs. So a perfect example of that is people who use plastic liners in litter boxes. That fulfills a person's need for, ease of cleaning, because you just, pull the string and pick up the bag. But a lot of cats really dislike those plastic liners because their claws can get stuck in it. The urine may pool in that plastic liner and so forth. So here we have something that meets the cat's needs and the human needs, putting us on a lovely, harmonious path to togetherness. So I'm all for it.
Yeah. And on that note, I mean, there's people who, and I probably err on this side of meeting the cat's needs and forgetting about the human needs.
That's okay if you're good with it.
And forget the human needs. And this way it's not necessary. It doesn't force you to do that. We have a quick evening to you both from Paul Bear, our friend. Happy, and then we also have a happy Halloween from Paul, as well as a comment that says live cat art. That's true. I did want to say that when I look at this and and how it's interchangeable and beautiful, there's one more thing I thought of. So there's people who don't obviously have the space for it or who don't want to have the cat. And then there's people who are minimalist and who want, just the most beautiful minimalist space possible. And so this would really hit up the high end customer who really only has, the most beautiful uh, things and furnishings in their home. For example, what came in mind when I saw this is, do you know what? Karl Lagerfeld would have something like this in his house if he were still alive. And because he was a famous, cat. I mean, he had one cat, and I think his cat inherited his fortune. Actually, that's how much he loved the cat. So, but he was obviously a fashion designer and incredibly wealthy and with good taste as well. And this would really fit his bill. I'm sure if he was alive, he would be all over that.
Well, we are priced at a point that is your common mid-level cat tree, exercise wheel. We are below the cost of what a robotic litter box would cost you. So we are really kind of meeting where you can afford great art, making your cat look like great art. And that's what we should be doing, is celebrating our cat as a living work of art. And the cats love being inside it because they feel like they're in a box, and cats love boxes. So, when we developed the idea and we created our prototype and our beta version, we didn't know how the cats would react to it. We put it up in our own home, and the cats took to it immediately. And you don't have to train your cat to be in it. They just want to be in it because they feel protected. They feel safe. And they love looking out at you. Right now, we have another frame right next to it that she's looking at another cat in a frame right over there. So what we're really proud of the fact is that it's quality through and through. I mean, everything that is made is all made in the United States. It's all USA made, and the framing material, we have 5 different frame styles to choose from. All of it is actual real framing material professional framers use. So there's no cutting corners except for the frame corners themselves.
Yeah.
But a bunch. And the artwork panels are phenomenal. We have over 1,000 different images to choose from. We're always adding new categories.
We take requests, and we also offer customization. So if you have like your own vacation photos or pictures of your art or a logo,
I'm sure you'll get clever customers coming up with designs that actually, match and make the cat a part of the design and make it look funny or clever or something, look like either cropped or done at a certain angle. So I'm sure there'll be some customers who'll come up with some real clever stuff like that.
I think so. Yeah.
Because we know through our own experience, we have a bag of cat costumes that no cats will wear. It's like torturing your cat or torturing our pets to put them in the costume. And that was one of the things. So for Cinco de Mayo, we have, I actually have it right here.
Okay.
We have one that if the cat sits in it correctly, they will be wearing a sombrero.
That's cool. That's funny.
We also have like bar themes. So we've got meowsteenies, we've got whiskers and whiskey. We've got really cool labels on these products that are in the frame that are cat related. So they're all pretty funny, tongue in cheek. We had somebody who recently said something, and I was like, we're doing that. She's like, my cat is really naughty, and I would like to put her in a kitty cell. And we're going to do a jail-themed category for naughty cats. So when they go in, we'll have a booking room, we'll have the prison yard, we'll have all
how tall they are,
in the jail cell. Yeah. So
that is funny. Can I ask, is there a front to that? Is there like a piece of like glass or plastic? It's open. Okay.
People will ask us, how did the cats access the frame? So they can jump in through the right side, the left side, through the middle, and they can access the frame. We sell coordinating shelves. But if you have furniture, a credenza, a desk, a nightstand, something like that, you could have that underneath.
Because I was just thinking if there was a front like plexiglass or something, that's where you could put the bars, and then the cat looks like they're in jail.
That's true, but there's the other cat in the other frame.
Oh yes, and the other, I see that's a modern style frame,
Yes,
silver frame versus the classical one. That's awesome.
That is our contemporary silver. And then this is called our gallery gold, which is a little more ornate. And we also have, this is a very popular one. This is our steampunk black.
Oh, that's nice.
Faux leather texture and speckled bronze in there. Looks really handsome.
Looks like a bit gothic, you know.
Yeah, that's great. Because, you know, I come across so many clients who say, you know, I don't want a scratching post in my living room. It doesn't match my decor. I hear that a lot. You know, a lot of these cat things don't match my decor. So here's an opportunity to provide your cat with enrichment that does match your decor or your taste. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I could even see the background being a scratchy material instead of artwork, and then they could scratch that. If somebody's into that, if somebody would do that, I would. But, you know, some people would be like, oh, it's got to be art, you know.
This shelf right here is actually carpeted. And
oh, right, so it's scratchy.
It's super easy to clean. Like once a month, I'll use my little Zoom broom and get all the little treats and whiskers and nail shards off, and then give it a little vacuum. And it's replaceable. So if you have cats that are crazy scratchers, it's fully replaceable. We like that. Our cats, we've had our shelves up for like 3.5 years now because we've been going through development and like Brian had said, the alpha version, the beta version. The 1.0 version, now we're on the 2.0 version, but we've had like a couple dozen cats go through, and we've only replaced one carpet. Oh, there's Holly.
This is our pixel. Oh, I was just gonna say this is our pixel white frame style.
Oh, nice, yeah.
That's clean. It's a pure. It's actual. What is
yeah.
It's
pure white. Yeah. It's kind of iridescent.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Every once in a while, we'll start to hear like. We started with 3 frame styles, the gallery gold, the contemporary silver, and a traditional cherry wood, which we just retired. And we would get requests from people, and we started to hear, I need a white option, I need a white option, I need a white option. So let's figure this out. And then people wanted a black option that was kind of like the gold, but more black. So that's how we came up with the steampunk. Have you shown that?
Yeah, I did. And then this is our warm walnut. This is new.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah.
Button design on the interior of the frame. So yeah.
For anyone who's not seeing this, you know, you can see examples of these designs on the website, you know, so you definitely go check it out and see what these look like, because they really are pretty. Yes. I mean, aside from the cat, like, oh yeah, it's a cat thingy. Like this cat who looks like they're in the Grand Canyon right now. They're very.
Yeah.
She's in Paris.
She's in Paris. That's Notre Dame right over there.
Oh, sorry for this. I need glasses. I need glasses, or as they say, should have gone to Specsavers. In the UK, there's a commercial with all these funny scenes, and then it's like, oh, should have gone to Specsavers, and that's what because from here, from what I'm seeing, which is about that, you know, that big. And in the background, it's just on my screen here. It looks like the Grand Canyon, but it's not. It's Paris. And I should know because I'm half French. My mother lives in Paris, and she. So yeah, that definitely is Notre Dame. Yeah, now that looks nothing like the Grand Canyon.
Well, just to get my age, you can't see far, you can't see close. It's a whole thing.
Well, your birthday's coming up soon, so I'm sure once you turn 45, you'll know exactly, you know, what's going on. Paul says it's so cute to see the cat models.
It is.
Yes,
so
it is.
It's
so absolutely cute to see them actually modeling meow models or meowdles or however. It's really cool. And how many cats do you have, by the way?
Oh, that's a good question you're asking. It depends on the day and the time of the week.
Here's a little story about what happened. Is cats kind of find us. Last July, a cat showed up in our backyard the same day that our outdoor TNR, trap neuter release cat, passed away. They just find us. And then while we were in development from the 1.0 to the 2.0 version, we had a little bit of free time. And so we started fostering. And where we live is in the high desert. We are an hour north of the Hollywood sign. And sadly, there are not a lot of affordable spay-neuter resources here. So a lot of people don't spay-neuter, or they dump their cats because they don't understand how to make your home accommodable for a cat. You know, they're like, oh, the cat's scratching things, I'm just gonna let it outside. So we aligned ourselves with a rescue. So right now in our son's bedroom, we have 4 kittens that are almost ready to be adopted. We have another kitten running around. That's why I had to get up for a second. And then we have a woman who has Parkinson's, who can no longer care for her cat. We started as a foster for her, but the cat really likes our house. So we're not sure if we're keeping her.
So it's staying, yeah.
So we have under 20 cats.
I have a request for Dr. Rachel.
Yeah.
Help.
Actually, that's a good segue, because we did have one of our faithful fans, actually someone who happens to be in the UK as well, who did ask a question on our private Facebook group for the Kitty Boss. So I want to make sure that we get to answer Leslie's question. Okay. So I don't think Leslie is watching at the moment, but Leslie will be listening to this answer. So here we go. Dr. Rachel, you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. So here's the question. My 2 cats were adopted at the same time, but had never met. The only hissing was from the ginger ninja, Ed. I guess that means he's a ginger boy. A year on, he always grooms the Bengal Aslo regularly, but it is never reciprocated. Just wondered why. They get on brilliantly and play too. Both were feral before being in rescue. Is it a hierarchy thing? Posh breed versus moggy? I've not been able to find your blog, so please direct me to the right place. So yeah, she's also asking for, where is there a blog for Dr. Rachel? So in any case, Dr. Rachel, do you wanna go after that? Because I mean, on the surface, I've not met these cats. She doesn't live anywhere near me, but it does sound like a bit of a hierarchy thing, but there's no like aggressiveness happening, so it's not something that I would be too worried about. But what do you think?
Yeah, this is total normal cat behavior, so Leslie does not have to be worried at all. There are many cats who will determine social status and hierarchy through non-aggressive ways. Like one example of that is if you do have a multi-tiered cat tree, oftentimes a higher status cat will take the higher tier. One of the lower status cats will take the lower tier. That's a lovely non-confrontational way to show, hierarchy or status in a household. There are also, so some of it might be, this is the cat in charge. The cat who's doing the grooming, the cat who's doing the caregiving is like a higher level cat. The other thing that happens is that there is a phenomenon known as a helper cat. And again, this is another non-confrontational, non-aggressive way of one cat being like a helper or a caregiver to the other cat. So you'll often see one, in a multi-cat household or a 2-cat household, one cat's the helper cat, kind of guiding the other cat along. So not to worry, these are normal cat behaviors. There is many times where one cat sort of takes the role of being, the parent, the caregiver, the helper to another cat. So as long as there are no other issues, you're not seeing any other things that would worry you, like, definitely like there's no hissing, there's no growling, there's no posturing, there's no intimidation. We're not seeing those stare downs. If none of that is happening, don't worry about it at all and let the cats just enjoy each other in their own ways. Oh, Justin, I think you're on mute again.
Yeah, I'm muted. I just muted myself so I don't cough into the microphone and destroy everyone. So just on that note, drrachelcatbehavior.com is the website that Dr. Rachel has, and you can find out more information there. Is there some kind of blog on that? Is that where Leslie would find it?
I have no blog. because I just don't have time to add a blog to my schedule.
That's why you couldn't find it, right,
That's
Leslie?
a very good reason. But on my website, I have a lot of resources. I have videos. And of course, as most of your listeners know, I provide all of my advice and help completely free of charge. So instead of a blog, you could just email me and ask me your question, and I will
Yeah, that's better than a blog, really. And then the other thing that Dr. Rachel has is a book that she's written, which is available on Amazon and other places. And the proceeds of that book also don't really enrich Dr. Rachel, because she donates all of it to a local cat charity, a shelter. So
someone can go to my website or Amazon and purchase my book, Saving the World One Cat at a Time. 100% of the proceeds go to cat shelters. And I also use the proceeds to provide grants through my nonprofit to cat shelters and also individuals who might need a medical assist, help with purchasing cat paraphernalia, and so forth. Sometimes clients of mine need more than just advice. They need help buying the things so they can follow through on the advice. So my nonprofit helps people to keep their cats in their homes by removing any financial barriers. And I am at this moment.
Oh yes, I know about this.
My second book. I'm proofreading it now. Old-fashioned way, writing down all of my edits, because I'm old and didn't grow up in the times when everybody had computers. But I'm plugging along on it, and my second book should be available probably within the year.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see about that. So stay tuned for the new book. But for now, Saving the World One Cat at a Time has enough information in it that will help everyone who reads it. So it's on Amazon or the website drrachelcatbehavior.com. And if you can't.
Yes.
I was just going to say, Dr. Rachel you're so nice. Everything you're doing is so nice. You're like the Meowster Teresa. That's what we should call you from now on.
Meowster, and Paul Bear says, wow, Dr. Rachel, so kind of you to be so giving. Indeed, Meowster Teresa.
That's a first. Okay, thank you.
Or Mother Clarissa, or anyway. We could probably come up with a lot of funny puns about that, but the truth is I think the world is grateful to have your services, especially how expensive they are, or inexpensive they are. So that's really amazing. So guys, while you're here, is there anything you would add to what Dr. Rachel said for Leslie? Because I think that pretty much covers it. This is just a small non-problem, really.
Yeah, I
like hearing about the levels, though, because we do have a large Siamese Siberian Norwegian forest cat mixture that we saved the day before he was going to end his life at the shelter, and he loves to perch on the top of the frames, and he flaunts his tail, and he looks out at everyone, and he is the king of the domain. And I like that.
Yeah, it's such a great way for cats to express themselves in a way that doesn't hurt another cat.
Yeah, he sounds lovely. I would be very lucky if he shows up on this right now behind you or something. But
he is behind us is our bedroom, and he's on that frame right now because he was watching me blow dry my hair.
Right.
And he was sitting there approving or disapproving.
Yeah, it's a bit like my cat sometimes with the vacuum. It's like you think they're scared of it, and then they kind of are, but they're also kind of fascinated by it, and they'll sit there and watch it just as long as it doesn't get too close. So I think that's very interesting.
I think you brought up a good point. I think we need to do a background of a vacuum cleaner and just see if
that keeps them away. So Paul Bear says top cats are tree dwellers and less confident are cave dwellers. I guess that kind of makes sense here. When you talk about the hierarchies and the tiers, that does make sense, I guess, in a anthropological or historical sort of way. Oh, here we go. We got tulips coming in.
coming
Those who
in.
can't see, artwork is
Watercolor.
being changed.
And this is called Meowtini time. Shaken,
Oh.
not heard.
It's backwards, I think.
No,
right?
it's not.
Oh, it's not? Oh,
No.
okay.
No, it's not. It looks great. Yeah.
It's
Oh,
great.
So there's
Sometimes
just a virtually endless amount of backgrounds that you can choose because there's so many now, and they keep adding new ones as soon as they get a good idea. So it's like, you know, a perpetual gift that never ends because it's a frame. It's pretty. You know, it's interchangeable. If something, you know, the carpet gets a bit scratched, you can replace that, the background. So you can never, you change the house, you change your wallpaper, paint, that's fine. You can change the backgrounds too, or just change it, you know, every day if that's what you like doing, or with the seasons, or with the holidays. So it's a limitless piece of versatile, I'd like to say furniture, but it's not even really a furniture because it's actually decorative. It's really pretty. Even if you don't have cats, it's very pretty. You know,
Well,
so it's
when the cat leaves the frame, you have something beautiful to look at. You can't say that about a carpeted cat tree. And we're very lucky. We have a lot of people who contribute their art. So this is a watercolor done by a woman named Janine Collini. We met her in LA. She now lives in Arizona. And you know, a lot of artists are happy to lend us their photos or images of their watercolors or their acrylics or oils because they want to share their art. They want to get it seen more. One of our artists, Michael Powell, who had the photo from Paris, he's like, there's only so many mugs and T-shirts I can put my art on. Of course, I want to put a cat up, you know, with my art. So it's fun.
Yeah, that's definitely, I can see that, and it's that's a beautiful. You could tell your friend there that's a beautiful painting in and of itself. Paul agrees. The background of the frames are wonderful. They definitely are a nice touch because even if you just had the frames and the feline, that's cool. But just having the interchangeable artwork just takes it to another level.
And for the people who aren't listening, the frames really are beautiful. I mean, the frames are something that you would find in a professional framing shop. They're really lovely.
Thank you.
But back to what Kristina had said earlier, and Dr. Rachel would agree, I'm sure, is we are hurtling into the season of Halloween and Christmas and even Thanksgiving, where like at Petco, PetSmart, all those pet stores carry those cat costumes, and the cats hate them. They hate them, and we say, why put your cat through that torment and torture? Why not just get a feline frame on your wall and change the background to match the season? And you can get amazing pictures of your cat, amazing video footage of your cat because they just love being in it. So it makes taking photos easy. In fact, we learned that, and that's how in the fostering world that we found ourselves in, Frame Your Feline has increased, spiked the numbers of adoption rates immediately once we started taking pictures of the adoptable cats in the feline frame, because people are like, oh my God, that's beautiful. Oh my God, I love that cat. I want that cat. It looks like art.
And the cat, it looks comfortable. Like if you've ever looked at shelter photos, it's usually a cat.
Oh yeah.
And nobody wants, that cat could be the most amazing cat, but it didn't have a chance, right?
Yeah.
So in the future, we hope to be able to have we do have rescues right now who have purchased the frames and they've installed them in their cat cafes or in like the person who fosters the most cats and kittens for that rescue. But we'd love to be able to have this in shelters because in our local shelter, the women who work in the cat area are afraid of cats. It's bizarre. We have a very high kill rate at Lancaster Animal Care Center. And they need a space to take the pictures because that's all they're doing is getting the cat all scrouched, you know, in the corner. And nobody wants to drive an hour to go look at a cat that's on the youth list if they can't really see what it looks like. Right?
Yeah,
so
that's right. Yeah.
This is a kitten that we're fostering. I'm happy that she's sitting in the frame because she has kitten energy. So she's a big dasher and we'll see you know, jumping from one shelf to the frame all the time. They get great exercise. So
My 13-year-old Emily does that too. She got kitten energy.
Good.
That's awesome.
But this one is beautiful, and she was looking right at us a minute ago. So very good camera technique on that cat. I'd like to say
we have a big, hairy, audacious goal. So first of all, we want to get a feline frame in everybody's house or home, obviously. Not only in America, but around the world, because
we're working on all this.
But our big, hairy, audacious goal is to be successful enough where we have a huge frame at the National Zoo in Washington, D.C.
Oh, and get a lion in there or something?
For a big cat. For a lion, a tiger.
That would be very cool.
We have to put that out.
Yeah, definitely. The Hollywood kitten, the kitten poser. Yes, indeed. So on that note, I do have a question. I have to ask you guys, being someone who is averse to DIY, I am not good at it and I don't like it. How hard is that to install?
It's super easy.
Good question.
I'll conquer the shelves so you can conquer the frame.
Okay.
Okay, so the shelves mount to your wall with just 4 screws. That we give you all the hardware. We actually give you a template. We give you the drill bit. Yeah. And we actually have supporting videos and stuff. So for those of you who can see, they're pre-drilled into the shelves. So there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. So it goes into your studs. On the install video, I had never used a drill before. So I had to do the install video. This was during COVID when we had the 1.0 version, and we shot in our kitchen, and there you go, it happened. So
because it's so easy to install, because it does come with a template.
It's like a poster.
It's a poster that shows you. So you find where the studs are in your wall, and then you go, okay, I want this at my eye line, and then you tape it to your wall, okay. And you know exactly where to drill, because we have 4 points. So you tap your little pilot hole, you take the poster down, now you know where to drill. Zing, 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 zing. And now you just screw it into the wall. It couldn't be any easier. We've made it like bulletproof. And that's like the great compliments we get from people is they go, oh my God, it's so easy. And we wanted it to be that way. And that's why I had Kristina do the original install video, because she hadn't ever used a power tool before. And so I said, we've made this so easy to install, even Kristina can do it. And so she did it, had 0 issues, very fast, very easy. You can have it up in about 20 minutes.
20 minutes.
And once
you don't need a lot of space. Like, it is apartment friendly, because when we kind of were flirting with this idea, we were living in our apartment in LA, and we had the powder blue ugly carpeted cat tree, and we're not bringing that with us. We do want to do some kind of a super wall in our first home, but we don't really want to just look at shelves and sisal and a bridge. That isn't appealing, right?
It's not exciting. It is for the cat, maybe, but yeah. So what are the dimensions of these things, and do they come in different sizes?
No, they are all the same size currently, because the frame styles are interchangeable. So let's say you got the gold now, and then a month later you're like, I really want the silver. You could buy just the silver frame, and then you can take this off and pop on the silver one. So even the frame styles are interchangeable.
That's cool. And so how big are they then?
Yeah, so here, I'll show you. Oh, wait, I've got show and tell here.
Okay.
First, we'll talk about the shelves first. So the shelves that you see, this is exactly what it is. The shelves are 9 inches deep by 23 inches wide. Okay, plenty of space for the cat to turn around, clean themselves, sleep, do all the things that cats do. And so those 2 shelves are the same size, right? 23 inches wide by 9 inches deep. And then here we go. And then the frame, I've got an actual frame here. Oh, frame your human.
Yeah.
Frame your human. So just for some context, so you can see, it is 24 inches wide by 21 inches high.
Right. So it's nice and big, but not too big.
But it's a statement piece. So you're talking 2 feet wide by over 1.5 feet high, and plenty of room for big cats. We've had big Maine Coons in there. We've had 2 in at a time.
We have a Bengal. We have a couple of Bengal Maine Coon families. So we say it's very versatile, right? The Bengal has a ton of energy and jumps and climbs and pushes. And then the Maine Coon is large, right? And they can fit and display themselves. So.
And people always ask us, well, what's the weight limit? I got a chonky cat. Right?
Yeah, I was going to ask that actually.
Chonky cats are perfect for this because when they connect to the studs in your wall, and the material that is used on the shelves is stronger than wood. We used to make these one at a time out of wood. And this material is half the weight of wood, but it is non-toxic, non-porous, 100% recyclable, and made in the USA. And because now we're in mass manufacturing, which is fantastic because we couldn't keep up with demand. So we had to figure out a way. But the question about weight limit, because it connects to your studs in your wall, we say 25 pounds for each shelf. So think about that, because that's for each shelf. But we've had well over 25 pounds, just to let you know, because we've had big, huge, chonky cats 2 at the same time in the frame. So I think it's made for big cats, small cats, kittens, old cats, you name it. All cats love Frame Your Feline.
Yes, it's made for all cats, not yet for lions and tigers. That'll be coming soon at a zoo near you, at a zoo in DC maybe. But for a house cat, a feline, a Felis domesticus, that works perfectly for every cat that anybody listening would have, whether it's fat, skinny, big or small.
And you can and
siblings, kittens.
We've got wonderful 5-star hotel interiors as a category. And there's a picture of a mouse eating cheese in the little gallery nook here. And also you can put your cat in danger. If you want to put your cat on the train tracks.
So what we're looking at for the listeners is a photograph of train tracks, a beautiful one, by the way, an art gallery quality photograph. So a gorgeous photograph of train tracks that can go in the background, and kind of funnily, your cat is sitting there on the tracks.
We have tested this, and no train has yet come through. So we think all cats will be safe in this backdrop. And you should know that this is not cardboard. This material.
So what is that?
Yeah, so this material is actually used for outdoor signage. So it's weatherproof.
I know that. Yes. Okay, I know the material.
Does not fade. The colors pop on this. It's scratch resistant, so the cats can claw at it all day long. And everything is built to last. This should come with you wherever you end up moving to next. So this is a product that it's not like you put it up and then you throw it out. This product will outlive you. You could will this to your kids.
You could.
There you go.
So it's a lifetime or more is what that is. So that's cool. Yeah, because I was going to ask. Yeah, so it's not just a cardboard and then there it goes, but it's actually the highest quality material you can get for something like this, which preserves the quality of the image forever, but then also protects it from any attack of the substances. Let's say your cat has a little wee-wee on it by accident. God, ours would never do such things, but it's let's say they do that. Well, that's okay. You could just clean it, wipe it down, wash it off, and it's not going to destroy it because it's not a piece of cardboard that's going to wither away. It's like outdoor signage, so it's there to withstand some things. So now Paul has a very pertinent question, which is how many backgrounds do you get with the frame? So you purchase the frame that comes with 1, 2, 10, none. I don't know.
Paul, great question. Kristina, you want to answer?
You get 2 artwork panels of your choice with every order, and you can order multiples anytime that you want. And we love doing 2 because then you get the experience of swapping them in and out. So maybe you have something that's like a seasonal one or a holiday or an everyday kind of art piece. This way you can swap them in and out and experience that. And you are right with the peeing, because we were vendors at Cat Fanciers Association in San Diego and the Malibu Cat Show, and we did meet several breeders who have male cats who are still intact, and they were like, I'm so glad because this makes it easy to clean. And we're like, yes, we learned that because our 1.0 version was made out of wood. And someone had kind of tipped us off like, hey, we have a cat cafe and we want to buy this, but we're concerned about the hygienics of all of it. And so the 2.0 version that's now what we're selling, that's now available, that is non-porous. So the shelves are non-porous. These are non-porous.
The frame's non-porous.
Super easy to wipe off.
And that's great, because especially most shelters require all materials within the shelter to be non-porous and impermeable. So that's great for your goal of trying to get into some shelters as well.
Yeah, and helping the shelters to sell the cats or get them adopted by selling the photos. So I think that's a really important piece of this mission. So I think that's awesome.
We didn't know that in the beginning, but our 1.0 version, I will give us a kudos because it was made out of real wood. It wasn't made out of like what a lot of cat trees are made out of, which is pressed wood, which a lot of people don't know is full of formaldehyde. So we don't want that around our cats. So
no, we don't. Plus it's really cheap and not sturdy. I mean, I do have a cat tree, and my Emily is now in perfect weight, but she was a bit overweight in a few years ago, and she jumped on the top shelf of this cat tree, and the shelf broke. And how embarrassing was that for Emily? I mean, it wasn't dangerous, and maybe it'd be slightly dangerous or whatever, but it was more like I could tell she was a bit humiliated by that. The fact that she's too fat to sit on the top shelf, and she just jumped on it, and because of the momentum as well as the weight of her, it broke off. So sadly, that ruined the cat tree because of the cheap particle board. Like you said, that stuff is not good. It's not sturdy. It doesn't last.
No,
so I'm really glad to hear that you don't use that.
Call a particle board.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's exactly what it is. I didn't know about the formaldehyde bit. It's also not very healthy. Right, so I wanted to give you a chance to, is there anything else you would like to share with us or with our audience? Because we need to wrap up the show, and it's been so great to have you here. It's so amazing to see the Frame Your Feline behind you and the cats coming in and out. We could spend literally the next few hours just watching. So, I think but we don't want to. So anyway, we want to, but we shouldn't. Right. So I just wanted to give you a chance.
Yes.
To give you a chance to say anything else that you want to leave us with.
You first, and then I'll cap it. Go ahead, Chris.
No, I do want everybody to know that we are a for-profit, for-good company, and we do give back also. And we are business partners with missionmeow.org. You can go check out missionmeow.org. We give quarterly to them. We also donate some of our editing services and do a lot of their videos when they give out grants. And then for this past year, we've also been sitting on the board of Mission Meow. So we've been able to see behind the scenes what can happen when even just small businesses chip in and kind of crowd fund smaller rescues. So we've been able to help get incubators for kittens and fire alarm systems, windows for shelters that are falling apart, like silly things.
All kinds of stuff.
Things that are so important.
Yes.
Yes.
That's amazing. So that's a nice, great thing to know. I know it's on your website, but it's nice to make sure that we reemphasize that you do have a partnership with Mission Meow, and that you're here to do good. You're here to make money, but you're here to do good, and that's really, really important that we do that. that we know that's not only okay, but it's encouraged because hey, we can help more people that way. So thank you very much, Brian and Kristina. It's been an absolute pleasure to meet you, to see what you've created here and the company you founded, what you're doing and how you're doing it. It's really amazing.
Well, thanks.
Thank you, and thank you for having us.
Both of you.
And Dr. Rachel, thanks for being so good.
And Dr. Rachel, is there anything else that you would care to say or ask to us, to Kristina and Brian, or anybody?
Add to Brian and Kristina that if you are partnering with a 501c3 nonprofit, that I do give grants through my foundation. So I'd love you guys to apply for a grant so I can also partner with you with the good work that you're doing.
Oh, that is amazing. And I bet you're glad you came on the show. So so our friend and Van Paul says, very interesting tonight. Thank you to all. Thank you, Paul, for listening and also for commenting. That really does make a difference and helps us. So I wanted to say that I'm Cat Lady Justin, and this is the Kitty Boss, where we pick, pamper, and protect your practically perfect pussycat for a lifetime of unconditional love. This has been the Halloween special show with FrameYourFeline.com founders, Brian and Kristina. Please go check it out. It is amazing. And Dr. Rachel Geller, of course, answering a positive and pertinent question from our friend Leslie. I hope you get a chance to listen to that one. Don't forget to tune in next month, where it will be our Thanksgiving special. I don't know what we're going to do yet, but it'll be fun. So thank you.